Good morning. This is John from the Springs Mennonite Church. And I'm here again at the end of a week, the first week of March. Can you believe it? My goodness, time is flying by. And I have a passage from you for the book of Luke. I guess you can guess that by now. And it's a really interesting passage. And one I think we we all can identify with. So let's read it here. Luke chapter 18 and verse 31. Now, here's what it says. Taking the 12 disciples aside, Jesus said, now he's saying this to the 12 disciples. These are guys that have walked with him, ate with him, slept with him, been around him, seen him work miracles, all kinds of stuff that you and I will never see because we're too late coming into the world, I guess. But these are guys that he's poured his life out for. And here's what he says to them. Listen, we're going up to Jerusalem, where all the predictions of the prophets concerning the Son of Man will come true. In other words, the end is approaching. He, the Son of Man, will be handed over to the Romans. He will be mocked, treated shamefully, and spat upon. They will flog him with a whip and kill him. But on the third day, he will rise again. Now, that's an interesting prediction of what's going to happen to him. And it's all bad. I mean, the disciples are hoping for good. They're hoping that Jesus is going to take over the world. Some of them even going to set up a new kingdom, they think. But he talks about something very different and dark and disturbing. And he ends it with saying, but he will rise again. Now let's listen to the last verse of this section. But they didn't understand any of this. The significance of his words were hidden from them, and they failed to grasp what he was talking about. You know, these 12 men had more opportunity to understand Jesus than you and I will ever think about having. I can't imagine in the middle of the day walking down the road saying, oh, by the way, Jesus, I had a question. Can I ask you about this? And he says yes, and he gives you an answer. That quick, that direct. These guys had every opportunity to understand everything that he was trying to say, but they didn't. They couldn't get past that last part of his sayings. But on the third day, he will rise again. They had no clue what that meant. They had no way to understand what he was talking about. And it says here, they didn't understand any of it. Now, I suspect if you and I had been with the 12, we wouldn't have understood them any better than they did. Life is strange, and it's full of opportunities to experience less than joy. It's an opportunity many times to experience disappointment. But the point of this story is the disappointment, the losing out, the not understanding isn't the final word of the story. It's as though you read a book and you get to the last chapter and you quit. You don't know how it turns out. You don't know what happened. Or reading history and it takes you up to the very point where change is going to occur and you don't go any further with your studies. And you end up being left with, gosh, what happened? And maybe that describes your life. You've gone through a lot of it, had a bunch of disappointments, finally expecting an end, and you get up to it and you go, I don't understand. But yet, every moment of every day, God is directing your path. And one day, hopefully, you will understand. Because the key to this whole idea is those last few words. But on the third day, you will rise again. It's not until the resurrection that the disciples can finally make sense out of what Jesus was saying, even though they thought they had it down pretty good. But then he died violently, awfully, by the most hated people in the world. And one of these 12 who listened to this story actually turned him in. I wish we could grasp how he might have felt. But he leaves it to us to say, hey, if you don't understand, okay, understanding is coming. If you haven't put your hand in the hand of the master and walked with him in your life, then you can't understand. There is no understanding that makes sense. Oh, you can come up with some thoughts, and maybe they work for a little while, but they won't be lasting. If your life is miserable, I can understand that, but it doesn't mean that's the end of the story. The story ends when we grasp the hand of God who extends it out to us and offers it to us to lift us up out of the disappointments and the discouragements and whatever else it is that we're living with. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to change everything and now you're going to be on top of the mountain, but you are going to understand. And with that understanding, you can make progress and head forward. See, God doesn't want to leave us back there struggling. He wants us to be out there in front, proclaiming his coming and his goodness and his grace to all that we meet, and even to proclaim it to ourselves. So I want to leave you at the end of this first week, second week actually, of Luke, leave you with the idea of, do you understand what God is doing in your life? Do you understand what's happening to you or has happened to you? You can, but you have to first understand that God loves you and he threw out a lifeline, the death of his son. And on the third day, he rose again, just for you and for me. Yep, he did. And if we were the only people on this earth, he would do the same thing. That's how important you are and how important I am. So think about it, will you? Have a great weekend. Do something fantastic. I mean, it's March. It's going to be warm soon. Wherever you're living, it might already be warm. Heck, the groundhog told us that we weren't going to have a long winter, so it's got to be here soon. Get out and be excited for what God has done and is going to do in your life. Thanks for listening. If you have a need or a concern, let us know. We'll do whatever we can as fast as we can to help meet your needs. I'll be back on Monday. Guess what I'm going to talk about on Monday? Yep, I'm going to finish up with this Gospel of Luke and move on to find some things in Matthew. Take care. God bless you. I'll talk to you again.